Hi everybody. We're here taking a little time out today to talk about practical intuition. That's something that we can all relate to, something that we all use every day in our life. The biggest question that I get is, how do I even recognize my intuition with so much other stuff that's happening there? How do I follow my intuition if half the time I don't even know what it is? So I'm going to explain the secret to recognizing your intuition and having the confidence to follow it in everyday life. Forget about the fear, forget about the conditioning or what everybody else is telling you. What we need to do is live our truth and make our decisions based on that inner heart center, not what's going on outside. So we all use our practical intuition every day. No matter what we're doing, we're making decisions, but we're using our mind, but we're also using our intuition. And the secret to using that intuition is one thing. It's the first impression. We hear the term first impressions never lie. That's all about intuition. So we need to harness our first impression. We need to pay attention to that sacred moment, that first second before the information comes in from the mind and takes over and destroys it. So we get into a practice of honoring that first sacred moment and paying attention to it, and we start to realize that there's a magic happening. Intuition is all about the first impression. That's the space where the magic happens. So keep that one thing with you, if you take anything away from this video, is paying attention to your first impressions. I mean, think about it. How many times have you gone back and bought the first dress you looked at or bought the first house you looked at, right? Because your intuition instantly knew where to go, right? And we ended up going through all these different decisions and choices and walking around, and we end up coming back to the first thing that we chose because our intuition was on it. It works like that on so many levels. You're trying to figure out a way to go to work, and your intuition's like, oh, maybe go a different way. But you're like, no, why should I do that? And then you find out there's a traffic jam, right? So we override that first impression so often, and that just creates havoc and makes our lives more difficult. The more we pay attention to that first impression and follow it and honor it, the easier, happier, and more peaceful our lives will be. So once you start to do that, start to test it, start to write these things down, create a journal of all the times that your intuition was right. So you start getting a sense of what that right intuition feels like, so that when it comes again, you notice it and you follow it. Building a relationship with your intuition is like building a relationship with a new friend. At first, you might feel like, things are awkward. You never know if you're saying the right thing or if you're getting the right information through. But over time, you just get comfortable and you get to know each other, right? As that intuition develops, it's like you're closer and closer to your friends. So let's recap, okay? Start honoring your first impression. That's the number one thing we're gonna do. Look for that sacred moment. Choose it over all the pros and cons of your mind, and then start recording it. Start developing that personal relationship with your intuition. All summer long, I'm going to be bringing you little fun intuition tips like this. So click the link below to make sure you don't miss the next one, and also to download my free Intuition Awakening Guide that I just came out with. That is a great way to get set for your intuition and to get started creating an intuition practice in your daily life so that you have a stronger, practical intuition. Thanks, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did.